Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me, Coach. Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Get off our lawn.
Welcome to the Straight Red Card. Now we're getting near some interesting times here, folks, because soon Gregg Berhalter is going to actually name that September roster. But before you get that, make sure you like and subscribe and share it with your grandma. Those things are important. Also, this is the kind of show where we talk about soccer, but we'll also give you advice on what potables to drink and not drink.
Potables.
Yes, and we will tell you if they're potable or not. But life advice, we've given a lot of life advice on here because we're both old. Well, I'm really old. I'm crunchy.
There's almost a century of experience here.
Yeah, what's wrong with you? You're keeping us in the 90s.
All right. I'm doing my best.
Because I've overachieved. I'm already half of the half that we need. All right, the turd in the background. Welcome to the Straight Red Card, everyone's favorite soccer show that are alcoholics between the ages of 40 and 50.
Wow.
Get ready to forka that blow up. Because the Brits are going down. Yes, the Brits are hopefully going down.
Yeah.
I want certainly Jamie Carragher to eat a big pie, of humble pie, after Pulisic scores 2 goals against England in the World Cup. Because he's not good enough for Chelsea. He isn't? Really? Okay. Sorry, that was my Jamie Carragher impression. He's got one of those fucked up accents. But I'm not an alcoholic. I'm a pothead. That's a really good point. We're probably both alcoholics, but at least I'm a pothead. So that's where I come in to bring the,
we're branching out and growing our audience.
Yes,
if we're just alcoholics, we'd be neglecting the pothead community.
Trust me, I have always come equipped to this show, and not just with liquor. Oh, which we should probably go through the liquor list unless we've got more comments coming. So I did a dummy again, right? I didn't do a dummy on purpose. Like this 99 is.
You bought it again, huh?
I had already bought it last time. I should have only bought one and gone, that shit's bad. I'm never going to buy anything by 99 again. But this is whipped cream. All right, so there's that. I also got something Brooks bourbon cream. And then I've got my Chimay again, so I'll be drinking a Chimay. And then, of course, there's the old standby, cranberry and vodka.
So yeah, we're apparently attracting other communities as well. We apparently attacked the attack helicopter community.
I'm an attack helicopter? What, pilot? Or you are? It seems like you might have a little bit of an interesting issue of dissociation. That's like that famous book, the husband that called, the wife that called her husband a hat. Like she had total dissociation and couldn't tell the difference between her husband and a hat. So she would talk to the hat because she associated the hat with him. Yeah. The man, and there was also the man who mistook his wife for a hat, I think is the name of the book. The man who mistook his wife for a hat. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that shit happens. People have the dissociation. Some people think they're animals like gerbils or squirrels or dogs or cows or cattle. It's very weird, the dissociation people have with inanimate objects. Some people have get sexually aroused around cars. Hey, all right, man, whatever does it for you. But hey, I think that could be an issue because most cars are outside. So if you get turned on by a car and start humping it in public, you'll probably get arrested. So probably not a good thing to have.
This tailpipe is just so wanting, I guess. It's there, right?
That's a good way to burn your dick off. Straight off.
No.
All right. So what else? We got any other? I was going to say something really bad, but I held it back. Does anybody else have any premature comments before we begin talking about other things? Comments, premature comments. I'm going to be very clear about that. Are you saying that I can't jump cars in public? You can jump them, but you can't hump them. So I'm just telling you, Chris, you can jump them, can't hump them. All right. Not in public. Like anytime you whip your deck out in public, you're probably going to get in trouble. You know. Yeah.
It depends on the dick, I guess.
No, I mean, they arrest guys for taking pees in alleys and then, call it indecent exposure. And then they have to get on that list of weirdos, that weirdo list of child stalkers.
You have to go, ring all the doorbells. Yes, I'm on this list. I peed in an alley.
Sure, honest to God,
they're like,
that's what happened.
Thank God, that's all you did. Oh, fuck.
Well, what about that kid that got
Still not letting you babysit my kids.
So here's the thing: this 15-year-old girl and this 15-year-old boy were like exchanging sexual pictures on their phones. Never went public. No one ever found out about it, but the girl's parents found the photos, and they called the cops on the dude. But then the cops arrested both of them for, what do they call it? Underage distribution of child pornography to one another.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Well done,
kind of an odd thing.
You just screwed your kid over too.
Yeah, exactly. I guess you didn't realize that she was sending some to him as well. He wasn't the only one sending dick pics. She was sending beaver shots.
So she was sending dick pics too?
No, beaver shots. Close-ups of her asshole. A la, you know who, goalkeeper.
I wasn't going to say it. No.
All right. It's enough joking. Right. Let's get serious. All right. Should I start it by doing a shot?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Been drinking the entire time you've been talking. That is true. Beavers do, in fact, eat wood.
I don't think that's good that they eat wood. But yes, in real life, real non-metaphoric beaver does eat wood. Yes. But a metaphoric beaver, not so good. Not so good. All right. So this is the bourbon cream. It's a little sweet. It's
Derek likes the cream, guys.
Better than last time I had it. Shut up. I would call this distinctly potable. Distinctly potable. Although it's not as good as the Old Smokies. Nothing has beat that yet so far. That was good. Okay. Anything else? Nope.
Yes, of course.
Oh.
I said let's go ahead and bring up the elephant in the room, I guess.
Okay, there's an elephant in the room. Did I give you herpes? What's going on here?
No.
Okay. Oh, okay. Hey, Tack, I'm glad that you wore the shirt and did the post on the tweeters.
Look at this, guys.
But when you wear it on your show, you need to take a break from the betting commercial for just a second.
I thought it was going to come at the very beginning, just after the betting.
I know. All I saw was the top of my head the whole time on his left teat. I was like, come on, just go like this. Look what I'm wearing, guys. Come on, got to show that off. All right. Anyhow, I'm just busting your balls.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for wearing it.
Yeah, thanks. Great tweet.
Nice tweet.
Awesome. Yeah. Send us a shirt. All right. I don't know if they sell shirts, right? Yeah, they do.
Sure
they do.
Who's that?
I
know. Sam's got a shirt for Tack, I think.
Oh,
he's got one. I saw something recently.
Okay.
From Sam.
Well, when is
Jose says, I hear these guys have a huge female audience. Good move, Tack. The biggest.
Yes, quite large.
I mean, it is because we use Sex Panther. Odeon, that's it.
Yeah, that does help. It's illegal in 9 countries.
I'm not going to lie, that smells like pure gasoline.
What, my drink?
Yes, actually.
Well, what are you drinking as far as the brand tonight?
Evan Williams.
Oh, your fallback.
Yep.
Kind of the standard, yeah.
Polished it off. My handle is now missing, and I've got to go buy a new one.
You know what's great about living alone? Today, when I went shopping.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
When I went shopping for a dining room table, yeah, I know I was sick, but I had to do something after 4 o'clock to waste some time. And I ended up buying something, but it's a table for 2 people. Not 4, not 6, not the whole neighborhood's kids over for a birthday party. You got to have 8 chairs and shit. No, this is just a standard dining room table with 2, like a small one, a square one too. It does fold out a couple times if you want it to, have an erection or whatever, but otherwise you just keep it.
I figured being single that you would have just utilized the living room
floor
table. So in front of your couch, you got your little table there.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like getting mess on that.
Eat in bed. Just put on the bed and just eat.
No
spaghetti, marinara all over the place.
I only bought it because it was cool. It's made by Blake. It's a really good looking table. And 2, my mom kept bitching. When are you gonna buy a new table for your new place? A new dining room set? I'm like, Mom, I don't need it. I'll just eat on the floor. I don't care. Call me Japanese because they eat on the floor. Nobody complains about that. But when I do it, that's a problem. I don't get it. All right.
Best thing about being single is
rubbing out a giggity.
All right.
Yep. And knowing no one's coming through the door at any minute. And it's like what some comedian talk about the scared jerk off. I think that might have been Chappelle. Nothing better than it.
I don't know if it's him, but I definitely heard it.
One of those jerk offs where you're just not afraid. You're alone, and this is going to be a good one. Not one of those ones where you're like, oh shit, did I just hear a noise? Oh wait, hold on. Put my dick away. No, okay. Ah, fuck, I lost some now. Now I got to start all over.
Worst.
God damn it.
Let's see if there's anything else humorous pulling up here. We can talk about Eli Lesser's prediction from 2018.
Speaking of humorous,
now don't get me wrong on this. This is a prediction back in 2018.
Yeah, I mean he's going to get this wrong.
So
I'm sure there's all kinds of giggity on there, i.e., jism.
Can I just do this? There we are. Look at that. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So at goalkeeper, he's got Horvath, Stefan, Hamid. Okay. That was a fair prediction in 2018.
Yeah, not bad, except for Hamid.
Sure, but it's 2018, 4 years ago.
But Hamid doesn't even start for DC anymore.
We got at center back, we got Brooks, Miazga, Cameron Carter-Vickers, and EPB. Okay. 4 out of the 6 looking good.
They're believable.
Yeah. We got Justin Glad.
Glad be happy. Yeah, he'd be happy and glad if that were true, but it's not.
T. Hilliard. Hilliard?
I don't even know who the fuck that is. Was that like a random player you picked out of somebody's roster? Oh, no, I think that's the LA Galaxy kid at one point.
Yeah,
I think that's the same guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Right back, we got Yedlin, Moore, and Polster.
Polster?
Yeah.
I don't know if there was any ever sniffs that was going to be true.
A right back. Did he ever play has he played right back?
He did for Chicago for a while.
Well, that was out when he was due to injury. He played.
The Revs.
Played
the
central
Revs.
mid for the longest time.
Revs.
Or 6.
He played right back for the Revs, I believe. No, then he played center defensive midfield. Who the fuck did he play right? The Rangers, he barely played, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
When he was in Scotland.
Speaking of Chicago, we got Brandon Vincent here.
Brandon Vincent? Is he even still a pro?
I have no idea.
My God. Courtney Ford? That's Courtney Ford, by the way. No. I don't understand where anyone would ever thought that, even in 2018, honestly.
The name doesn't even ring a bell for me.
Played for Colorado. I don't even know. He might play in the USL at this point, honestly. It would not shock me if he were. I can't get the fuck off my screen, bitch. God, I hate this phone. All right, let's see. Who was I looking for? I want to look up this Brandon Vincent dude.
Yeah.
See where the hell he is. Maybe somebody knows already.
Jesus. Why don't you talk about the? I have my computer right here. I can pull this up.
Brandon Vincent is a former American professional soccer player.
Yeah.
Who played as a defender for Chicago Fire in Major League Soccer. Vincent grew up playing.
There we go. He retired in 2018.
Oh my God! Could you make a worse pick? Holy shit!
Wait, he retired in 2018. He was on this prediction. Maybe it was maybe he retired at the later stages of 2018.
Yeah, I mean, he retired when he was. I mean, he's only 28 now.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
What if injury did him, man?
Let me see.
I don't know. While you're looking that up, I'm going to read some of the center mids because we're playing a 4-4-2. It looks like, or more or less 4-4-2.
Brandon. By the way, Brandon did announce his retirement on Twitter.
That's nice.
October 30th, 2018. If anybody wants to look it up.
October, okay.
See if
all right, Eli has the pass here. He thought Brandon was going to continue playing. Why did he retire that quickly? If you, I don't know.
Eli, who?
The guy who's posted this in 2018.
Oh yeah. I know. We're just
in the center mid. Yeah, exactly. Well, again, it's not two bad picks in here.
There's no way we would have picked this in 2018. No way. None of these guys. Well, some of the guys, Vincent, Ford, no way. Hilliard, no. But Holster never registered to me as a national team player, even in 2018.
I've never really registered to me as a center back for the national team either.
No, me either.
Central mids, we got Weston McKinney.
Yes.
Acosta.
Makes sense.
Adams.
Yes.
Rolled on.
At least he's in the ballpark.
Ian Harks.
Well, sadly, Ian Harks, although in Europe for a long period of time, sputtered out a bit. So,
but look who's blown. It's your boy.
I know. Maybe I would have believed that too, man. I would have. I was so hot on him. I thought he was going to be the next best thing. So,
what about Kyle Scott?
Who? He played for MLS last season somewhere. I don't remember where. He didn't make much of a dent, but yeah, he was a Chelsea guy. Then he went on loan to lower leagues, barely played, and then he finally gave up and came here. And I don't think he's become any superstar for anybody. If he has, let me know. But I checked the MLS stats.
We got Will Trapp in here too.
Yeah, well,
that was a reasonable one because at least Will Trapp was in contention at the beginning of the cycle.
But did we know who the coach was in 2018?
No, we didn't have a coach. Technically, we had a coach. We had Dave.
Because if you would have told me Will Trapp and Berhalter was going to be the coach, and I knew, I'd say, "Oh, well, that makes sense."
I think it was Dave Sirkin.
Yeah. Okay.
Nagby. When did he announce retirement?
He said his big fuck offs about 2.5 years ago.
So it was only 2.5. Okay.
All
right. So Nagby is realistic. I wouldn't be surprised if he was still playing for the Nats to be on the list.
Yep.
Leggett. Sure.
He got that one.
Gaines.
Oh my God. Well, that's been a rough fucking pick. So again, not much. And I don't even know I know who Mackenzie Gaines is. Who's O Gaines? Is that his little fucking brother?
Anybody in the chat knows who O Gaines is? And then somebody failed to mention in the central mid is Hyman.
Speaking of Hyman, Hyman kind of disappeared even for Atlanta. Hyman really fell off the charts too. I was hot on him. I was really thinking he had a future, honestly.
Yeah.
I was surprised when he fell off with Atlanta, and it's disappointing. Again, I don't know who O Gaines is, but he gains a weight on my head because
Oren is his first name.
Oren is he related to Mackenzie Gaines? Somebody confirm that for me. Is he his younger brother?
Yeah. let's see. Let me see if this is worth. We got Pulisic on the right.
Shocker. On the right.
Areola.
Yep.
Sure. And Lennon.
In somebody else's wet dreams, but not realities.
Well, then again, this was 4 years ago, Lennon. I mean, most people were probably thinking the skies were the limit at that point.
Was he still at Liverpool in 2018? He might have been.
That I couldn't tell you.
Hey, just because a guy goes off and plays in the junior academies at Liverpool, hey, we got one there now, doesn't mean dick squat. Who's the guy that played for Man United?
So it is Mackenzie Gaines.
Well, he doesn't go by Oren. That's why I don't know who the fucking Oren is. Who would go by Oren? Hey, what's your name? Oren? Like Orrin Hatch, the senator who's dead? Yeah, it's a really old name. Sorry about that. I'm going to go by Mackenzie from here on out.
Yeah.
No wonder I didn't know who the fuck he was. I've never heard him called Oren before. And he doesn't go by Oren. He wants you to forget Oren existed. Left back,
some of us are.
Courtney Ford. That's what I'm saying. I mean, what a joke. I wouldn't even predict that in 2018. That's like pulling, gold out of a dead rabbit's ass. There's no way you're going to find any in there. That's what that's all about right there. I'm going to look him up, Courtney Ford, and see if he's playing in USL.
All right, while you're doing that, our tandem strikers are going to be Jordan Morris and Bobby Wood.
Too much contact with one of our buddies.
Well, I mean, again, 4 years ago, that's one knee surgery ago for Morris.
Yep.
And
I would have picked
Bobby
Morris.
Wood was still plying his trade over in Germany. Bundesliga 2, probably, I think, at that time.
Well, okay. All right, Courtney Ford apparently is still signed by Sporting Kansas City.
I was just about to say, Justin already had it covered there at the end, right when you said that.
He's played 11 matches this season. So there you go. Prior to that, he was at San Antonio FC on loan. Yep. Okay.
The sporting listener was the one who called it out too, with an LOL. It's for Sporting.
I remembered him more when he played for Colorado, but yeah, Woods. I think that seemed pretty reasonable thing to say back in 2018.
Sure.
Zardes, same thing. Isaiah Young. Not sure I was ever that high on Isaiah Young.
I don't even remember Isaiah Young.
I wanted to be. He was in Germany for a long time. I think he came here eventually. I'm not sure what happened to him, but I don't remember seeing his coming up across his name looking at MLS stats. So, Way is a good pick. Haji Wright's a respectable pick for back then. So It's not all bad. It really isn't. He made some lucky guesses in some cases and just way the fuck off the charts on others. But yeah, I get it.
I mean, there are definitely some would-be guarantees in the Pulisic, McKenzie, and Adams. 2018 Acosta is definitely different than 2022 Acosta.
Yeah, that wasn't that still Dallas Acosta?
I believe so. Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Yeah. That is
some of the names on here seem like almost like a wish list. You have to do some projecting, I guess, in the end.
Yeah, you got to take
you have
shots.
You have some promising players that might be playing in Europe, maybe playing in the academy age, like we talked about. And then you're like, well, if they continue to develop, I really think they're going to be there.
Yeah,
but that also goes to show you how, as your point, just because you're playing in an academy in Europe or even youth teams, it does not mean you're going to pan out.
And look at them all.
Yeah.
Zalalem, Kyle Scott, Isaiah Young. They all fell off big time. Gaines also played in Germany for a while. So both Acosta sucked.
Yeah, I think 2018 Acosta was definitely far less consistent.
He's gonna have to work as Adams' backup for now. That's just how it is. Yes, he's not. I don't even think he's having that great of a season for LAFC. It's not a bad season.
Well, and we were talking about. I mean, a lot of people will be like, "Well, the only reason Acosta is there is one, he's versatile. He can play left back, but he's really the only option to play as Adams' backup, right?" We talked about that.
Williamson. LTD.
Or, as we found out just minutes before the show, Richie Ledesma. Wrong one. Here you are. Look at this.
Yeah.
We looked at this, and I'm like, those are defensive stats.
Yep.
We had to look it up, and apparently Richie played the center of a 4-3-3, the Adams role.
But here's the clear distinction. He did so for young PFC or PSV 2, if you want to get more numberish.
I almost wonder if maybe PSV is looking at him at a different position than his usual wide or attacking role.
Here's what I think. They said, Richie, you've got no shot playing for the big boy team right now. Why don't you go down to the little boy team?
Sure.
And play them for a while. And then he ended up at the little boy camp. And little boy camp coach said, oh, shit, you know what? We're really bad at the holding midfield spot. That's your spot on the team, Richie. Thank you for joining us. So we'll see what happens with Ledesma's just.
Looks like he had a pretty decent game.
Yeah, he's playing. He's playing in the second division.
I'm just saying, yeah, especially playing out of position for the most part. And yes, he's playing in the second division, but I'm just saying in this standalone thing, that's a pretty solid performance. I'm not saying he's going to be an Adams replacement by any means. That was all pure joke.
I get it, but how long is this cycle going to go on? You play for the young PSV, then you go play for the big boys and ride pine most of the time, get 5 minutes here, 10 minutes here, then get an injury, then get sent back down to the young PSV and start all over again. The cycle is just, it's getting old, but some of the last injuries were the longest that he's ever had.
I suspect it'll continue until PSV is tired of paying his salary.
Yeah.
And he may break out at some point, but he is 22, and yes, he had a season-long injury and then followed by a couple of nagging pickups here and there.
Yep, a lot of nagging pickups.
We'll
then the foul, that one foul this year was brutal. So I totally get that one, why he's been out this season. But now to be sent back to young PSV again at his age, it's got to feel like almost a smack in the face.
Probably, I mean, it'd either be that or going out on loan at this point. But who's going to take him on a loan? I mean, you might as well just stay with the second team.
Whipped.
Yes.
Oh, again.
Yeah, pretty solid. I mean, it's just we'll see what happens. I mean, at this point, I'm not holding my breath. Well, you are right now, aren't you?
Oh my God, that was harsh. Those 99s, man. Woo! I don't care what flavor they put them in, they still smack you right in the fucking cock and balls. Man. I need some air.
Well, let's go from one not so French player to a potentially not so French player. Coming September and possible World Cup.
Oh, Balogun?
Yeah, well, we can talk about him actually. That'd be a great launch.
Well, who the fuck were you going to bring up?
I was going to bring up somebody else and have a good laugh and actually have a serious conversation too. But let's talk about Balogun first.
Okay, he's not making the September camp.
I'd imagine we would have had some form of word because he has to file a switch, doesn't he?
I believe so. Yes, he does.
So yeah, I mean, I would imagine we would have heard something by now if that were the case. But from what everybody's talking about, Gregg is doing his damnedest to try to convince.
Yeah,
he'll be the Julian Green of this cycle.
I hope not, but
much better, hopefully.
If he turns out like Musa has,
yeah,
and they're good friends, Musa can easily talk Balogun to join this team because Balogun has a very tiny, like chipmunk dick's worth size of making the English national team at any point in his career. I'm telling you, if you're that good and you're at his age, you're playing at Valencia like Musa is right now. You're playing at a bigger club, getting bigger time. And he is now, I guess. Yes, he is. But, I mean, last season he spent it at Middlesbrough? Really? I don't know. But now he's where? Rems?
Yeah, he's somewhere in League.
It's Liga.
And he's putting up numbers.
And at least they all kept playing this weekend while all you motherfuckers in England did whatever you did. And that's fine. You can do your little tribute to the Queen. I will remind you, however, she spent a lot of your money and she lived 96 years doing it. And maybe she did a lot of good things, but really, we're going to make a big as shit. We're going to cancel soccer. And then we cancel. I thought the weekend would be it. Then they canceled the Leeds game today. Now I'm hearing through the grapevine they might cancel the whole week, including next weekend. The fuck is that?
They may cancel those, and then England's got their window, so they're not going to be playing during then. And then they're not going to be any EPL games till October.
Don't force people to mourn.
It's rough.
Not every English citizen is a fan of the monarchy, by the way. I've met some that aren't. So I don't know. This is pretty presumptive that, yes, with such a grand majority of people who loved the Queen and remember her fondly, yeah, I'm sure a lot of fucking 14, 18, 20-year-olds remember. They don't remember dick squat about her, all right? If you were born and you weren't in that sort of World War II baby generation, you probably don't know that much about the Queen, except for Diane and her fucking ugly ass son Charles getting married. Princess Diane, who died in a car crash. David D, fuck it, cancel the whole season. Brits are too sad. I gotta watch some Pulisic. I gotta watch me some, Aronson. I gotta watch me some Adams. So no, don't cancel the season. I'm excited about the Marsh at Leeds experiment. I want to watch that unfold like a fucking what do they call those? Soap. Who watches soaps anymore? Do anybody watch soaps? I guess everything's a soap now. The reality TV thing is really just a pre-written soap.
Soap.
Oh.
Are you reading your grocery list right now?
Snopes.
Got some soap.
Oh,
got some scope.
I'm a real clean motherfucker. My breath smells good. My ass is just smells fantastic. A lot of soap on that. All right.
Here's a player I wanted to bring up because much like how Pulisic has pull in getting rid of a manager at a club.
No, he doesn't.
He barely plays for right now.
Bullshit.
He's also pressuring Berhalter to bring up another friend of his along with Haji Wright.
Who's coming up with these takes? Christian Pulisic is putting pressure on Gregg Berhalter to call up Alejandro Mexico Zendejas to the September U.S. men's national team camp. Reportedly did something similar with Haji Wright last camp. Well, look how that worked out for Haji. Not so good.
Maybe that's why Greg did what he did. Maybe Pulisic shouldn't be suggesting any more of his previous youth players to get called back up.
And exactly how is he putting pressure?
Yeah.
He might make a suggestion if he's asked. And
you really need to be checking out my friend over here. He's in Mexico right now, and he's told Mexico to hold off and not taking any call-ups.
Pulisic
he wants to play for us, goddammit.
Pulisic is in no place to make any fucking suggestions at all right now. He should be thankful he keeps his starting fucking spot on the team. That's how fucking poor Chelsea has been, and he's been poor right along with them. So I think, I doubt Berhalter's taking suggestions from Christian Pulisic. You got to be a jack off in the head to think that's actually true. You got to be living in Disneyland if you think it is. He might actually have asked him Pulisic a question like, hey, you used to play with Zendejas. Is he a good kid? Good attitude? What do you think about him? Yeah, that's about it, though. That's about as far as it goes.
I'm going to go on a limb and say basically what you said in the sense that he's probably just flat out said, hey, maybe you should go take a look at this guy. I think he could add a lot to the team.
I doubt it. I wouldn't even go that
much.
No. Pulisic doesn't have that much pull. Not with Greg.
I know, but I'm just, fair play.
I don't think Pulisic has much pull with anybody right now. I think he's kind of down in the dumpsters. So
I don't think even pull is the phrase we should be using in that sense. Because I don't think he's necessarily trying to pull, getting gains by anything.
You think Greg is looking for his advice on who to call up?
No,
no, he's not. And I doubt Pulisic is not the kind of person to force that discussion on anybody. He is a very low conflict person. Very low. Does not like conflict. Adverse to it. Not like arguing conflict. That's what I'm talking about. He probably doesn't like physical contact either, but that's neither here nor there. It's a funny statement. It's neither here nor there. That's what I'm saying.
Did you hear the good news about the World Cup? Apparently, we're going to be playing on our home turf.
It's been moved to the United States.
Looks like we'll be playing the World Cup on home turf because Qatar is going to be importing American grass.
Oh God! And not the smoke it grass either, because you get arrested for that in that country and sent off for a very long time. Get sent to their gulag.
The quote is, "The American grass seed gives you a more robust playing surface,
and it doesn't make you paranoid."
It's the best.
It is the best. It's very Jenny Cush's-esque. Sorry, I'm stretching a lot tonight. My legs are killing me.
Well, while you're doing some stretches there, another potential fringe player that's getting a lot of playing time actually in Europe, but has not been called up by Berhalter, and he actually started today. It looks like.
Are you talking about Mendez?
Talking about Mendez.
Boy, I didn't even have to see it. I knew it was going to be Mendez because a whole 3 fucking players played today. So it wasn't hard to figure out. It really wasn't. Alvarado sat the bench, by the way, for 18. By the way, Vizela did lose the game, and Mendez did get pulled out at the 65th minute. The only other player to report on Monday is that loser New Zealander, Tyler Boyd, who didn't even get to dress.
American.
Didn't even get to dress for Besiktas. I know, I'm just kidding around with him.
He's the American.
Yeah, he's an American. I mean, he's a New Zealand American. You want to get real specific.
New Zealand
He's a Kiwi American. They call themselves Kiwis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're Kiwis. The All Blacks, or is that South Africa? I don't know. I don't know my rugby.
No, the All Blacks was New Zealand. No, the All Whites.
New Zealand's all whites.
All Whites, yes.
That's racist. I'm just kidding. That's like when you pass these towns in Indiana, it's like Whitestown. You're like, I know exactly why in 1887 they named that town Whitestown. Racist motherfuckers. Whiteland, Whitestown. There's a lot of weird named towns in Indiana. You're like, Whiteland? Okay. That's spelling it out for everybody else.
I'll come back to that in a second. But yeah, All Blacks is New Zealand.
In rugby, but they're all whites in soccer.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So let's see. Where was? Oh, there we go. I'm going to pull this phone back up.
Gregg is looking for the straight red card advice. Well, I appreciate that.
I think he takes our advice. It just takes him many windows for him to finally get to what we were suggesting.
It's a long process. Many phone calls. 2 a.m. in the morning.
Well, we can't forget Clansville.
Is that really a town?
Fuck if I know. In no way. God, no way in hell that's still going to be called that. They would have changed that a while ago.
You would think so. Yeah.
Joe Patrol grew up just outside of Whitesville.
Yeah, there's Whitesvilles, Whitelands. Yeah.
Virginia has Lynchburg.
Oh. I'm not sure that's why it was named that.
Maybe not.
It was named after some guy named Matthias Lynch.
It's just unfortunate. Unfortunate, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I don't know if I can finish this. Once again, the 99 kicks me in the balls. I can't do it. Do not buy 99, folks. Holy crap. It is only 49.5% alcohol, but it certainly tastes like it's like way higher than that. Although your standard whiskey is 40 proof, right? So,
Plansville is a book.
80 proof. So, I'm sorry. Is a book. Okay. I did not know that.
We got Jefferson Davis High School in Confederatesville, South Carolina.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. When I was in high school, we played against West Hardin, and their mascot was General Lee, wearing the gray outfit and all of it. That was and they were called the Rebels.
A little more Indiana knowledge here. New Pal were the Red Dragons.
New Powell?
Still are. New Palestine.
Oh, New Palestine? What's wrong with the Red Dragons?
It's a KKK thing.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the Klugel, one of the Klugels is like so-and-so, and then you got the
You're a
Red Dragon. Yeah. Okay. I think
there's history by the how the school's funded. That we don't really need to talk about. Basically, just funded by various members.
We get into really dark shit. We can talk about Martinsville, but I suggest we move on from the history lesson. Everybody knows how bad it was. I mean, maybe if they don't, they should go read your history. Like right up and through the 1930s, America was like. You'd think we had made progress after the Civil War, and we did make some progress, but by the 1920s and 30s, the Ku Klux Klan was as popular as it had ever been. And in fact, 50% of white males in Monroe County in 1927 were a member of the fucking Ku Klux Klan. There you go. Even in Bloomington. It wasn't just a Martinsville thing. Yep. Oh, history. What a bummer. History sucks sometimes. But that's what, if you're going to do history, you got to do the good and the bad.
Yeah. Can't just talk about the good stuff.
Unfortunately, there's just a lot of bad. We fucked up a lot. We're humans.
All right. So we're 42 minutes into this. Do you want to start talking about our predictions?
Yeah. Oh, should we go and look at some key players this weekend first, briefly? Because your McKinney guy's not playing that well right now for Juventus.
So nobody played well for Juventus.
That's true.
In the first half, they came out in the second half, and even McKinney looked better. A lot of that stems to how they were playing, and I'm blaming a lot of that on Allegri and some of it on the players. Probably a lot on both, actually. Let's put the blame equally across the board. Weston didn't have a great first half. He looked better in the second half. But again, everybody on the team looked better in the second half.
I'm just picking key players here. Luca De La Torre continues to ride pine for Celta Vigo. He's played 11 minutes in 5 or 6 games, I think now. That did not. Whoever predicted that was not going to work out, I kind of felt like you might be right.
Well, and Celta did not look good this weekend. Or was it this weekend?
I don't know.
I watched last. I watched one of their games recently, and they didn't. They got stomped, and they did not look good. I
had the option to watch it. Then I went on Soccer Way and said, "Oh, Luca De La Torre didn't play a minute. Fuck you, Celta Vigo."
Yeah.
And off I went to another game. Jordan P. Fox 75 in another Union Berlin win, where they officially become first in the Bundesliga. How long that will last, I do not know, but I do know his partnership with Becker is badass.
I was going to say, go just talking about that game because that's one of the games I watched this week. P. Fox, for the most part, looked good.
Yeah.
He missed a crappy PK. Just absolutely horrible PK.
That's embarrassing.
And loved it. God, he knew it too when he messed it. He was like, "Oh fuck,"
Yeah,
that was bad. But he also had another opportunity where he squeezed himself in between 2 defenders and got a header on just wide of the post.
Yep.
He looked good for the most part. He just had that bad flub that's gonna stain the performance in the end.
And I mean, honestly, the two of them, Becker and him, will do a little minor pressing up top to put pressure on the center backs. I think they do a decent job at that. I mean, it's not like Aronson pressing, but it's still pressure on the center backs.
Well, they play at least with their striker tandem plays very much how Bradley played the empty bucket with 2 strikers. He had a kind of a slower but holder up type of a striker, and then you had a faster striker that played along with them, and they opened the defense up constantly. Yep. So maybe that's why I'm liking Union now.
I am too. I'm enjoying watching the games.
100%. Yeah, they're probably going to be one of my most likely watched matches of each week. I watch over most.
Yeah, me too. Sam Vines, and if by God he does not make either the September or the fucking national team,
well,
I'm gonna fucking.
I feel like September is a guarantee given that Jedi's injury.
No, I'm talking about PFOC.
Oh no! I jumped on the Vines. I thought we were talking about Vines. Okay.
No, if PFOC does not make the September or the national team, I'm throwing a brick at fucking Berhalter's house.
Apparently, You may want to take that back. So we might actually do
a metaphorical brick will be coming his way.
So there was talk on the Twitters. I guess Tight Shirt ended up telling Tactical that PFOC was probably not going to be in September, pretty much because Berhalter doesn't rate him or whatever, something along those lines. I guess. And then he ended up deleting it, so I don't have a screen cap of the actual tweet.
Did Tack confirm that's what he exactly said?
As far as I know, Tack mentioned it on his abroad report, but he didn't give any specifics.
He didn't mention it was Tight Shirt?
No, he said Tolman told him basically that PFOC most likely was going to be there.
What? Filippo's not calling him Tight Shirt yet?
Probably not.
I think he needs to fix that.
Yeah, seriously. I don't think I think Tight Shirt only respects you if you call him Tight Shirt.
Right. Absolutely. Yes. So come on, let's go, Tack. Fix that up. If you can only refer to Twellman as Tight Shirt Twellman, you can do both, but you can't just say Twellman. All right. And then Dest in the 18th for AC Milan didn't play. Musa went 90 in a loss, and he did not look as good. Guess what? Odasawi's on the bench.
They didn't look that good either, though. There's another really
the whole team played like shit.
Performance by the team, yeah.
Yeah, I really don't understand it. EPB went 66 in a loss for Troyes on Friday. Bello, three measly fucking minutes.
Hey, he might get called in as a left back option, Derek. I wouldn't be laughing at it. He's getting playing him as a professional.
I'm definitely still laughing at it. Cardosa started and went 60 in a win. Let's see who else. Reynolds 90 for Westerlo in a win versus Anderlecht. Like, that's impressive. Vines 90 in a win. McKenzie 90 in a tie for Genk. Booth in the 18 for Utrecht. It's like that Utrecht gave him a few tries in the first few games, and then since then they're like, nah, you go sit the bench. So Cannon 45. I don't know if they lost or won. Haji Wright 90 in a loss. Toljan 90 in a loss, and that's about Tillman and Green. Guess what they did? Lose. Except Tillman went 88 in the loss for Firth, and Green went 30.
Took me a second to realize who you were talking about because you said Tillman, and I immediately jumped to Malik.
I know. Conrad, 12 for Olympiacos in a tie. And then the whole clown show that's Venezia. The clown show that is Venezia. But these guys were in Serie A, and they don't even look like they belong in Serie B now. They look like they should be in Serie D. They are so fucking pathetic. And this time, the coach finally said, fuck all those Americans. They can all go ride pine. And guess what? They still lost. All right. Even though Tessman got 45 and Novakovic got 32.
I didn't want to. I don't have the time to go looking for the tweet itself, so I'm just going to read what I sent you earlier today. Mm-hmm. But Tack said, I know we had forgotten about Venezia. However, they do currently have 5 Americans on their roster for Serie B.
Yes.
They're currently in a relegation battle at the start of the season. Not good. And I said, Derek does not hesitate to state that Venezia are playing like crap each Monday. Oh, today's Monday.
It is Monday. Here we are. They're just bad in every way. And Busio was on the bench. He was in the 18, dressed, didn't play. De Vries dressed in the 18, didn't play. Patrick Leal, at least they told him to take his clothes off and hit the showers. They didn't even tell him to dress. They're like, okay, that 4 Americans is enough. This 5th American, he's just taking up more spot on the bench. So Scally 90 in a tie. Altidore was in the 18 for Puebla, did not get his usual 10 minutes at the end of the game. And that's it, folks.
Or goal or assist there, yeah.
We can make that part slower because this part's going to be really fast. Like we already know who the Triple G is going to pick, right?
Yeah. For the most part, yes. And as it mentions in the title of the show, 85 in quotes, 85%. Is shit. Now I don't even know what it says. Basically saying that 85% of the roster is already guaranteed.
Yeah, so that out of 26, that's 22 of 26 spots. That leaves 4 spots. I'm doing the math.
Sure. Yeah. Well done. Larry Parr says Brian McBride said on an interview with Jimmy Conrad that they want more from their strikers than just scoring. It sounded like to me that Sargent, Pepe, and Jesus will be the three.
They don't want a lot of strikers that are just hooking up with a lot of pussy. They want guys who are really focused on their jobs. They don't want them just scoring. They got to do more than just score. They got to be politicians, good players, good people. They got to listen to what they're told to do by Berhalter. There's all kinds of things they need to do outside of scoring, which is one of the reasons McKenzie makes the team. So, we'll see.
Sorry, Berlin. Berhalter hasn't given a sniff. I don't see it happening now.
He did go 90 this weekend, Berlin. I don't think they won, did they? Let me look it up real quick. I did track him. Yeah, they did win. He didn't score, though.
Pepe did get the assist. Game-winning assist, if I recall correctly.
No, Pepe played really well in those minutes. I went and watched his every touch video.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I mean, I really can't complain. I think he played really well. He made a bunch of fucking steals coming out of center forward and just fucking up some defensive center midfielders and stripping it from them. So he's definitely playing like he wants to make this team. Chris Gary, thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Appreciate them at $5.
Yes. Who has a better shot of long-term national team career, Bello or Reynolds?
Reynolds.
Bello is atrocious, guys. I'm just telling you. He's not good. He's average at best. He was an average MLS fucking left back. At best,
his only hand up at this point is that he plays at left back.
Yes,
and he's a left-footed left back, which is a rare commodity these days.
He was average 3 years ago. He was average 4 years ago, and guess what? He's still average. He never got any better. He didn't get more wise. He didn't understand the tactics better. Nothing. He just has not grown as a player. He's the same player almost physically that he was 3 years ago, but he's just not gotten any better. And now he's playing, in a league where second Bundesliga, you're not a starting left back. You know how hard left backs are to come by? I mean, decent ones, especially if you're in 2 Bundesliga. Hell, you can barely find them in 3 Bundesliga. You're probably playing some center back at that position all the way down there because, left backs are in demand. And if you're decent, at least decent at left back, you're probably going to play somewhere decent.
Well, and you have to think, if you're the percentage of people who are left-handed left foot, like naturally left-handed left foot, you got to think of that small percentage. How many of those are going to be elite athletes? And of those elite athletes, how many of them are going to pick playing left back?
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
it's a small number. That's why you see a lot more right-footed players that can play with their left foot playing out left.
Well, you look at a lot of right backs. Let's use Dest as an example. That's not where they started out. It's just where they ended up. So, but you'll see that a lot. It's that fast kid who's really good at being fast and good at defending, but he's not really a goal-scoring threat, but you used to throw him on the wing, but now you're like, you're playing left back, buddy. Matt Murata, we don't need Acosta to be a direct replacement for Adams. If Adams is out, we should play a different way, perhaps a dual pivot. Dude, you are preaching to the fucking choir, Matt. You are preaching to the choir.
Yeah. I mean,
but that's not going to happen.
The most recent friendlies that Luka ended up playing at as Adams' replacement.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked fine. And you know what? Maybe you do like a Luka and Musa tandem.
Double pivot.
Yeah.
But Gregg won't play a 4-2-3-1.
There you go. David got you covered.
That's right.
He should, but 3G won't.
Yeah, that's why when we're making these picks, it's not about what we want. It's about reality.
Look at that. Ryan's right on board with us on that. Love to see an LDT, McKinney, and Musa trio when Adams is out, of course.
Well, I think he means without Adams, period. Not
and see how we control the midfield without Adams. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
A lot of people have said that. They think that, the ball would move better. But then again, if we played a 4-2-3-1, you could have Adams and Musa play a double pivot with McKennie further forward, or Aronson playing.
That's been happening the last couple windows, though, man. Moose has been playing further and further back.
But it's temporary. It doesn't always start out that way, but whenever they start marking Adams, then Musa comes back to help. But it's not like it's a fix. It's not how they really want to play. So it doesn't look like a double pivot. It can, but not defensively. It never does. Adams, like once we're on the attack, Moose is forward. So is McKennie, and then Adams is sitting back. While you'll notice at Leeds, even when everybody goes forward, you got Roca and Adams covering the gaps right behind them, in front of the back too.
Yeah.
So they're like attached to the hip, Roca and that. And you can actually, if you tied a chain between them, they would move throughout the field. They'd always be like no more than like 30 yards, 20 yards apart.
Get that.
10 yards apart.
I seem to make those like 10-yard passes between each other.
Yeah. Here, you have it. No.
Why you take it?
I really don't have anything to do with it right over here, so we have that back. Hey, pass that out to Christensen. Okay. All right. What do we got? We're supposed to pick our team. All right. This is easy. Goalkeeper, Turner, Horvath, Johnson. Stefan's injured for September.
Isn't Stefan back now?
No.
I thought that I saw something on Twitter saying that he was back, but the Borough manager is saying that he's sticking with his the backup for now.
Didn't I tell you that?
So,
I told you that. I texted you that a couple weekends ago. I said this replacement for fucking Stefan's playing better than Stefan, and when Stefan comes back, he ain't gonna get to play. You got to check your texts. I texted you that.
I do, but then you go in spurts where you like text like 40 times. And I get the gist of it all. And I drink. I don't remember everything, Derek.
That one was important.
Stefan is back from injury, and he is also benched.
I don't call him in.
So the big talking point for goalkeepers right now is I don't watch any of the New York City games, but from what I understand, Johnson has not been playing well.
No, not recently. But
saying that though, he does have like 14 clean sheets for the season, which was tied up until this weekend. I don't know how New York City did this weekend.
But he's mostly played well throughout the season, except for recently.
Sure.
I mean, if you want to take recency bias, that's fine. With Stefan, you don't need recency bias. The guy can't play
anywhere.
Yeah,
it's nothing recent.
Doesn't matter where he goes, he becomes second best.
Yeah.
So
I guess the big talking point really is Johnson or Slonina, because people are like, do we just use our third spot on a goalkeeper of the future?
No, because we don't know. We don't know if he's going to be the future. We need to think about right now. And I get it. Third string keepers don't play in a World Cup. I understand that.
Almost ever.
Yes. So, but second strings have in the history of the World Cup numerous times. We've had injuries. So, but let's say you have a really serious injury and you're then down to two goalkeepers for the rest of the tournament. Do you really want Slonina as your backup, or do you want kind of hardened veteran?
I don't know, man. We've wasted. Well, I would say wasted, but we've spent roster spots on the quote unquote players of the future before. We did it with Green last. It
doesn't work out. You don't waste a spot. I know, but you don't, and I don't think Gregg's going to do that. I think if he has one,
I don't think he will either. I'm just saying this is a talking point that people are bringing up.
If he has one sacrificial lamb, he's going to bring. It will be Malik Tillman, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be Slonina. It's not going to be Slonina.
Do we think that he's going to be just bring in 26 players this window?
That's what I was told.
Oh, I have no idea.
I mean, I don't know what I'm told, but
I almost wonder if they'll go above 26 just to take a look at some other players that most likely will make a 26. But
I think he said, there are 4 open spots on this team. You got to ask yourself which ones are those.
There's 4 open spots, but he's going to have to take a look at a couple players per spot. Is it a viable option?
I would say one of the spots is goalkeeper. I don't think he's got all 3 of his goalkeepers locked in. And, you and I know he's probably going to bring Stefan to the September camp, but I would not reward him for playing like shit, for having no confidence, and then getting unseated by a fucking backup goalkeeper in the fucking championship.
So the fact that he's back, he's on the bench, he's on the game day 18. Stefan is not going to be excluded from the roster. He's going to be there in September.
That's a fucking gift by Gregg. It's a gift. That's what that is. He has not earned it. Slonina has earned it more than he has. I'm sorry at this point. He's gotten shots shot at him all fucking season long from every direction. Chicago's defense sucks dick, and he's held up well this season.
Yeah, he's got a. Now so Slonina has 13 clean sheets for the season right now because we just won 1-0 on Saturday. Which was my only bright spot of the fucking Saturday because I watched the Union Berlin game, then I watched Musa's performance. I watched anybody else on Saturday? I don't recall.
So,
but then Chicago once again, yes. They only have to win their next 4 games in order to make the playoffs. Hooray!
Good luck for them that one. So you're bringing Turner, Horvath, Slonina. I'm bringing.
No, I'm not bringing Slonina.
Okay, so
I'm going with what Gregg's going to do. That was the whole point of this conversation.
That's Turner, Stefan, Horvath.
Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense.
100%.
That's what Gregg's going to do because the shoe fits.
It's a Gregg move.
Yes, total Gregg move.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to suck that Stefan cock until it finally gets hard again.
I wouldn't be surprised if Stefan actually starts the game. 1 game, maybe 2. I wouldn't even be surprised for that. I wouldn't be surprised.
How many times are you going to rescue a guy's career? How many times? That's all I got to ask.
Yeah.
Center back. Zimmerman, Richards, Long.
Yes.
Here's my guess on the 4th. EPB.
Oh, interesting. Going with EPB, huh? I understand the reasoning for it.
Yeah, he plays in a better league than
consistently too, and so does CCB. I could see him bringing 5 center backs.
It's possible.
So I could see both. Now the big question is obviously meeting up with Sands and Tillman and CCV. Would it be possible that all 3 of them not get called in for September?
No, he just wanted to have dinner with Tillman. The other 2 guys were just there for shits and giggles. I mean, I'm sure he's like asking things like, hey, how come you let those guys score 4 goals on you, Sands? How come you put in an own goal and then you gave up the other 2 goals? What's going on with that, Sands? That seemed like a really rough weekend for you, or a rough game for you. That was the last game, actually, not the game where they lost to Celtic 4-0, where he also was atrocious. So I don't know. Why would Sands make this team? He looks uncomfortable playing for Rangers. I don't get it.
He's had some decent performances, but as a whole,
he's had good moments. But you don't get beat 4-0 by Celtic and then go play a Champions League game or a Europa Challenge game or whatever the fuck they're calling it now, and get your ass beat again 4-0.
I went. Let me pull my list up here. My center backs, I had Long, Zimmerman, Richards, which are guaranteed.
Yeah.
I have CCV, and then I had EPB.
Okay.
So I did put 5 there. Mind you, I also have 28, so I could.
Yeah, you're
definitely narrow this down. But I see. Well, I could see him bringing 4 center backs, and when we talk about right back here with Cannon, he could be considered the 5th center back option.
I don't think he considers him a right center back.
I don't think
Gregg does. He played him there once, so maybe he does. That was that one rare time we played 3 in the back. Long time ago, it seems like at this point. I just don't see Gregg playing 3 in the back unless he's just experimenting around. Experimenting? What the fuck? That sounds almost, I don't know, like a child molester. I was just experimenting with the kid. It was nothing serious, just experimenting. What about the dog kicker? Nah, I mean, listen, he's played better than Long in 2 or 3 games this season.
It's one of those things where it's too little, too late at this point.
Yeah,
it's one window before the World Cup, and we know that he's not going to exclude Long.
I will celebrate if it is Miazga instead of Long. I will.
That'd be an interesting thing because obviously he's sold with Long, but I think he's going to want to kind of have some consistency and some chemistry continue to be developed at center back, especially leading into the World Cup. So that's why I think Long will be in there.
If Miazga's last name was Longer, he might have a chance, but he doesn't. So yeah, I think it's 4 or 5, and it's EPB and CCV. Flip a fucking coin.
So instead of EPB, 24/7 Pro has Ream.
I had Reem on my list, but is Gregg a believer? I don't know. Ask the monkeys.
He was a believer.
'Cause I'm a believer.
He was. And then he was playing a championship, and,
Yeah.
then he got, not called in anymore. And then now he's back in EPL and doing well.
And besides, Reina doesn't need babysitting anymore. So, left back, Vines.
Yes.
That's all I see coming. in September.
Okay, so I had put another right back at left back. I put Scally at left back.
I put him in between right back and left back as an option for either.
Sure. No, I agree with you on that.
Yeah. So I didn't have him in either spot. I had him in this sort of purgatory spot.
What about McKenzie?
Anyone but McKenzie? No, McKenzie. Sorry.
He's playing better, and he's getting consistent playing time, but
too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
Yep. He had an up and down season last season, really rough. Bad time with the U.S. men's national team.
God, he hasn't played for the U.S. men's national team for a while.
When he did, it wasn't so hot.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So we had left backs, right backs.
Right back, I had again Scally either or, left back, right back, and I had Dest, of course. I had Yedlin, of course, and I had Cannon.
Yes, that's who I had too.
Yep, I think that's going to be the options.
Oddly enough, I had written Moore at first, but then I completely forgot about Yedlin.
I think Yedlin's going hell or high water.
No, absolutely, I absolutely do think so.
Even though Moore might have outplayed him since he's arrived in MLS. And we know that Gregg likes Moore. Just like he likes long and longer. All right. CDM.
He likes Adams. More long.
I keep insinuating horrible things about Gregg. All right.
What else?
I mean, horrible things in the sense that they're not true.
Yeah,
right.
That's good. That's a good way of wording it. Yeah. Backpedal a little bit there. All right.
Well, I'm just saying that's why they're horrible, because they're lies. Lies are horrible. All right. And I'm not lies. They're lies and jest. And you guys all know that. I just don't want to get sued. That's all. CDM.
We can get sued for saying that Berhalter takes dick.
I've never said that, actually. I'm just insinuating.
Yeah, as I'm saying. I don't think you can get sued for that.
And that he sucks it too. All right. CDM. Adams, of course. And then the backup doesn't necessarily have to be, but will be. Costa.
Yep.
A lot of people probably with Williamson on their list, but again, I think it's just a little too late.
Yep.
Too late. And that's really just because of an injury. It's not because Williamson hasn't been good when he's been healthy. He has been. Midfield, advanced midfield. Not too far advanced, but you know what I'm talking about. Musa, McKennie, LTD. Although Luca De La Torre's time at Celta Vigo is now starting to seriously concern me.
He's just had the performances with the national team that I think he's pretty much not a lock, but kind of a lock.
Kind of.
He'll get called in September, and he'll perform again adequately and or above adequate, maybe. Fingers crossed. Hopefully he's not rusty.
Yep.
But he'll be called in September, guaranteed.
Tillman is my last one in that group.
I was hesitant on where to put Tillman. I wasn't sure if I was going to put him in the midfield or in the winger role.
The only reason I put him in the midfield is because that's where Gregg had him listed last time, even though he played him out wide.
Yeah, he's going to put Aronson in the winger and probably play him in the midfield.
Maybe. Yep. Very, very much so. Winger, Areola, Pulisic, Aronson, Morris.
So, Areola, Pulisic, Reina, Aronson, and Morris?
Reina, yeah. I'm sorry. Did I leave out Reina? Yeah.
Yeah. So you have 5.
Yep. I had to mark way out because even though everybody's predicting he's going to suddenly be healthy for the September camp.
For who?
Because he's way up. Because he's scheduled to come back and play this weekend. Really? I don't know. He's just scheduled to be healthy enough to play this weekend. I've seen no evidence at all of him being in camp and practicing, full bore with Lille at this point. I don't know. I wouldn't risk him. I would not risk him. I'd let him keep working it out. He won't be fit, number one. He could get injured again. How far is he beyond the injury?
Could he Could he call in an extra person, sort of a la the long roll when he was recovering, to just be with the team and practice and that type of thing?
Could.
I mean, it's a short little flight or a little tiny train ride from France to Germany.
You don't have to put him on the roster to do it either.
Sure, fair enough. Not that they didn't stop from putting Long on some rosters.
Right, exactly. But here's the thing. I don't know how you keep Areola off this roster the way he is playing right now. And
no, I don't think Ariel is. I think Ariel is absolutely going to be on the September roster. 100%.
Greg loves him some Areolas.
All over the place. No.
All right, that is confusing because he likes it long and he likes more. He also likes Areolas. It's kind of like mixed bag for Greg. Do men have areolas? They can't have areolas. So do they have areolas? I thought they just said nipples. Like
I've got nipples, Fokker. Can you milk me?
Tiny little milking. All right. Striker, Sergeant.
Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Ferreira.
Yes.
Pfock.
That's what I would do.
I think that's what Greg's going to do.
I don't know. There's just I don't see how he could leave Pfock off.
Not if you need a goal and 20 minutes are left on the clock.
But I could see him leaving him off and giving a shot to a new face like Vasquez as an option. I could see it. I could see him giving that spot to Pepe. It's just I don't know. There's a lot of questions. I mean, 99% of the soccer world would call in a leading goal scorer in Bundesliga ahead of any number of players.
The thing about Vasquez, even though we name dropped him, I really felt like when he did in the interviews, he was just trying to give the kid a few props.
You're right. It's gonna be Zardes.
No, it's not going to be Zardes. I just think it's going to be three. I think it's going to be Sargent, Ferreira, and Pfock, and that's it. And it could, if he's going to add anybody and give somebody some love, he'll probably give a quick reach over to Pepe and bring him along just for the ride, since we got 26. And if he loves Pepe, like I think he loves him some Pepe, he might bring him along for the ride. He might even start him one game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that miss in Mexico really rubbed Berhalter the wrong way.
Which miss?
Sorry, the Pfock miss.
Well, fucking
not the Pulisic miss.
Yeah.
Well,
it's hypocritical.
He can't leave Pulisic off the roster because Pulisic has so much pull on the team.
That's his name, Pulley.
Yep, exactly.
So, all right. So that covers.
Again, there's only a couple of. He said that whatever. There's a couple of spots on the 26-man roster that's going to be in question, and I feel like for the most part, our roster doesn't have much gambling in it.
No,
the big thing would be left back, obviously, with Vines and Scally.
But Vines has played for us before.
True.
So
he hasn't played in almost a year, but yeah,
it's been a while. But
actually,
he knows Gregg's system.
Sure.
Scally should be getting acclimated to it, but Scally is still a big question mark. I don't know if Bello makes the team over Scally. I'm gonna fucking throw another metaphorical brick into Gregg's pants.
But yeah, again, looking at our roster that we've just stated here, maybe a center back position in question, left back backup would be in question, and third striker. Those are the big question marks of all the players we have listed here.
Yeah. And do we know we have a time? I heard before 5 o'clock they're going to make this announcement, but that's really a big, massive generalization.
Usually it's out like 11, 12 o'clock, usually.
When they do the roster announcements. Yeah.
That's when it usually is. So
during lunchtime. All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
Doesn't matter if it's at 5 o'clock. It still works for us.
I mean, if I read the roster and go, oh, holy fuck. If I have more than 2 holy fucks, I'm going to be shocked, honestly.
No, the roster is Wednesday.
Jesse.
I don't know. It's just again, he's talking about like 85%. Of course, it could be a general number. And he could be talking about four or five players that he's questioning. But if you're not going to test anybody new, then those 4 or 5 players are pretty much guaranteed at that point.
Yeah.
So I feel like there might be some mix-up. There might be some gambling from our standard safe Berhalter 26 here, and he might call in a couple faces over a couple faces. But I don't know. It's just if you're not going to test somebody new, then those 4 or 5 players are pretty much guaranteed locks, anyways.
Well, I don't think the 4 players are going to be like, what? I think they're going to be players like, oh, EPB and CZV made the squad. Oh, shit. So he's going to give them both maybe a test and see who he likes more. But
Okay.
one of those guys has got to go before the World Cup.
If you're going to go 4 center backs, yeah.
Yep. And then the same thing goes for Vines at left back. Either he's going to come in and prove himself as a good backup option for Jedi, or he's not going to make the team. Period. It's either one or the other. I would say the same thing goes for somebody like Morris at this point. Morris is at this camp. Morris does not impress. Somebody's coming off of this motherfucker when Weah is back on the team. One of them's got to go. Morris is on.
So that's 3 spots.
Yep. In the midfield,
I guess striker would be the 4th spot because we don't know who's our 3rd striker at this point. I feel like it's pretty safe to say that Jesus is going to be a lock, and maybe Sargent the way he's playing.
I'd like to think Sargent's a lock. If he doesn't make this squad, then I don't know what fucking glue that Berhalter's sniffing at this point. I really don't. And I was really upset that Norwich game didn't happen on, was it Friday or Saturday?
Yeah.
Pissed off. I was so looking forward to that game.
Is it funny that we're more interested in watching the Norwich games now that they're back in Championship than we ever did when they were in EPL?
I watched them all in the EPL,
So
and I fucking wanted to stab myself in the head with an ice pick.
I almost wonder if the manager's going, man, I should have got rid of Rashika earlier. Maybe, just maybe.
Well, the old manager was Farka. He's the one that got Rashika in the first place.
Sure.
And he loved him some Rashika. He played him all the time.
And who's the current manager?
Not Farka, but oh shit.
Regardless of who it is, he played the shit out of Rashika for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, but now he's on the outs.
Yes. He's on his way to Turkey.
Dean
Smith?
Yes.
It's guaranteed English last name. Come on.
Yeah. It would have been funny if the new coach also had sort of a name that sounded like Farka. Like his name was Fuka or something like that. It was close to Farka. Or, well, fucking and shit. You associate those things together? What the hell's wrong with you, Brett?
I was thinking another curse word.
You got fucking and shit. Let's add some shit in the farking and fuking. All right, Too Much Motherless. You're watching Too Much Motherless.com. All right.
Okay, so since we got our 26 out there, let's take a look at Paul Tenorio's. Tenorio's
Paul Tenorio.
His 27-man roster.
I pronounce it like an English.
And quite frankly, there's not a whole hell of a lot different here. There's just a couple names to talk about, I guess. So goalkeeper's fine. Fullbacks are fine. We talked about those. Center backs, he had Sands. We talked about him, but I don't see him being included.
I don't think so.
Over EPB in this situation, too.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve that over EPB. Sorry.
So they had the same midfield as us, same attackers, and then
holy fuck.
Wow, I mean, we basically had the exact same roster. I think more and more people are channeling their inner Berhalter.
And less making up shit.
There's still plenty of that on the Twitters.
God, I know there probably is, but at least Heath stopped doing it for the most part as well. Just like, I'll make up my own fucking starting 11. Fuck Berhalter. Well, is that starting 11 got a chance in hell of happening? No. Okay, then why recommend it? I mean, it is. If you say, this is what I would do, then fine. But then you have to say at the same time, this is what I would do, but it's probably not going to happen because he's going to do this. We will whip out our crystal balls, you said? Our crystal balls?
Yes.
Let me look here.
To predict and try to figure out what was going on in Triple G's head.
Mine aren't crystal.
I'm kind of. I looked at a couple of the responses, and I'm kind of upset nobody jumped on top of the crystal balls. It's a shame. I wanted to post the GIF of.
You should have put sweaty.
Where are we hiding these crystal balls at? I wanted to post the GIF of from Big Lebowski with Jesus at bowling, and he's like, "Have you seen Big Lebowski, right?"
Mm-hmm. Like 1,000 times.
Where the Jesus is like, buffering up his bowling ball.
Yes.
I wanted to post. I posted that, but then it like deleted my entire tweet. And I was like, "No, God, now I'm gonna pull back up and take a look."
Jesus.
But yeah, that was the thought process that was going through my mind when I said, "Whip out our crystal balls."
You should have said our bowling balls.
Well, crystal balls in the prediction, and then.
How about our large balls? Saggy balls. We're going to whip out our saggy balls and smack you upside the cheek with them. And then we're going to make our predictions. This is why I'm not on Twitter. This is why I don't do it. I would be probably blackballed, speaking of balls, pretty quick.
Chris, I think you might be. Are you referring to our conversation with Ledesma earlier on in the show? He was on the bench this past weekend for the first team.
Yes, but he's back with young.
That's what Derek was saying.
Yeah.
He gets a couple minutes in one game, then he's on the bench for the first team, and then he's back with the young team.
Yep. So that's what
it'll revert too. He'll go back to the first team, get a couple more minutes. It's happened a lot this season.
That's what I was talking about. And say hi to your mom, Marie. Osmond.
Oh yeah.
And your uncle, Donnie.
Or father.
I'm old. People are like, Donnie Osmond? Marie Osmond? Yeah, when I was a kid, there was a show called the Donnie and Marie Show. Yeah. Yep. My mom.
Osmond, I was going with Spider-Man there.
My mom bought me when I was in first grade, bought me a lunchbox with Donnie and Marie on it. And I pretended to lose it.
that was a good choice, yeah.
Because I was going to get made fun of, and I knew it. So I took all my food out.
Actually, this lunchbox, it's the hottest thing. It's Barbie,
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
And I told my mom, that's a really popular lunchbox. Maybe you should get me something more boring. I don't want my lunchbox stolen again. So I didn't think I say I lost it. I think I said somebody stole it.
Didn't Keek Perry? Am I butchering his name right now?
Keek Perry.
It is Keek. Okay, I thought it was Keek, but I didn't want to say it. He was on the 18 for who's he playing for now?
It's not. Is it still Twente? He's bounced around so much, I lost track of him.
But he's was he? I thought I saw him pop up on my Twitter feed. I'm like, holy shit, he's back.
Yeah,
not injured anymore.
He was injured for like a year and a half almost. It seemed like.
Yeah.
At least. We could look it up and see where he's playing right now, real quick.
Oh.
Perry, I'm kind of curious. I thought he was still at. What the fuck? I just put in Keek and it changed it to laughing out loud.
He's currently with Ajax.
Back with Ajax? No.
Well, I don't know if he's out on loan right now, but his current team's Ajax.
Pretty sure
he's for young Ajax.
Gotta be. Huh? Do you know there's a Keek Perry who's also a professor of endoscopic surgery at the University Medical Center at Groningen?
I did know. Wow, that's nice.
That's really.
I did know that actually.
You did know that. Sure, you did.
Yeah, he's playing with Ajax second team, and he scored a goal today apparently.
Yeah, you're getting to the point with Keek where he's 22. He's been on many loans. He's been injured a lot. He's kind of had this, roller coaster career. We'll see if he can get settled.
We're talking about Keek now. We're not talking about Ledesma.
I know, but I'm talking about Keek.
It's the same thing as I'm saying.
I know.
They're both 22. They've both been injured a shit ton.
Yep.
All right. Let's hammer through some of these questions here.
Oh, what? Yeah,
we're only an hour and 25 minutes into it, Derek.
I've got a sickness.
The only prescription is more cowbell.
Dink, 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 dink. All right. Think we see a formation change at some point during the September camp? Probably maybe something minor. He might try 3 in the back or something jackassery.
Well, the 3
like
in the
that.
back means that the left back pushes up and Cannon sits back the other 2.
Yeah, something like that. But nothing too wild. I doubt you'll see a 4-2-3-1 or
it'll still set up as a 4-3-3,
or
but
a
in the attack it'll be
4-4-2.
a little bit different.
Yeah, it's not changing. Do you think we will be starting? Who do you think will be pairing in Qatar? It's Zimmerman and whoever Gregg is feeling comfortable with at the minute. You would think that'd be Richards.
One of the 2.
It ain't going to be Brooks, unfortunately. But Brooks rode Pine, by the way, this weekend.
Yep. Felipe was talking about that. You miss your entire preseason coming late.
Yeah, you're not going to play.
Yeah,
exactly.
How often do you make center back changes in a game? Especially when you only win the game, I think 1-0 or something like that. But
Mitch, hard at work again. Not sure you heard, but Wales recently got an Israeli-Italian-Welsh winger who plays for Hull City. Salty loads. He's decent. Had a good game against Norwich. He's a dribbler, not a great shot.
From what I understand, he's actually a pretty good shot. Like a shot in your mouth. The reference is like, it's worth it's a reference from Jane Silent Bob's like, it's worth a shot.
Oh my
shot
God.
in your mouth. You're really gonna suck my dick.
Salty loads. All right. Way to go. L. Weinstein. Hope there's more advice on the prospects of fatherhood as well. Whose prospects?
We always thought, Derek, is there something you need to tell us?
I'm done with that shit. I'm done being. I still have kids, but I'm not siring any more of them. That's for sure. That's done. Too old for that shit. But hey, if you have any direct questions, Al, for 2 veterans, I'm an older veteran. All my kids are out of the house.
He's got a couple of them. Look, he's got a little munchkin of his own there. So
yeah,
sure, he's in the same boat.
Brett has a couple younger ones. So he's going probably what you're going through. So, Chris Gary, my September roster, channeling my inner Gregg, and word from the grapevine, he calls up a little more than 26 to get a last look at some fringe player.
Which is kind of what I was asking.
I don't think so. I really don't.
I don't know.
There are only 4 spots open on the team. Why waste your time? Turner, Horvath, Johnson, Dest, Cannon, Scally, Zimmerman, Richards, Long, CCV, EPB. So far, all fine. Vines.
Which is basically what you said.
Yep.
You said Vines here, and then no Yedlin up there though.
No Yedlin.
No Yedlin.
Yeah, I think you're going to get some Yedlin, Chris. Sorry. McKinney, Musa, DLT, Tillman, and Williamson. I don't think Williamson is going to make the team.
There are a lot of people that are including him in their prediction.
Wingers, Pulisic, Aronson, Reyna, Way, and Sendejas.
Again, just the buzz around Twitter about Pulisic and Berhalter, Buds and Dejas.
Chris, you got to stop smoking so much Zendejas. It's not good for your lungs. And it makes you type things like this. Zendejas is not making this team. Sergeant Tifa Ferreira.
Stop smoking Zendejas.
It's another fine strand of Jenny Kush. It's called Kush Zendejas. It's a blend. I just don't think that's realistic. I don't think after all this time, Zendejas is going to suddenly make this team. I don't. Maybe next time, but not this time.
We have to find a replacement for the Morris and Areola, though, because they're not in here. So we brought in the Zendejas.
And this is even crazy because Weah may not be healthy, so you do have room to bring it. But Chris, I know Areola's making this fucking team. He's making this team. Hell or high water. I know he's pretty good, and we don't have left-footed wingers. I know. That doesn't matter. He has not. This is so late in the game to throw a fresh and furry face in. I just don't see it. Now, if I have to eat crow tomorrow, I will eat crow. But I am telling you,
on Wednesday, you're going to eat crow Wednesday.
Zendejas is not happening. There's no way this late in the game. And if you think Pulisic has that much pull, I'm saying this in a generic way. Some people think he does. Nah.
He addresses the way issue, though.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. And Colin's saying get ready for Leggett.
I don't think so. I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it at this point.
He's on the list for MLS as one of the top assisters this year, right?
He's playing really good for Dallas, and you know how much Gregg loves watching Dallas. So I wouldn't put it out of like it wouldn't be from left field if it happened. I'd be like, oh shit, he did it again.
But Colin, we've had this conversation about Leggett and Berhalter's formation and tactics. Is that Leggett just does not work as one of the dueling eights under Berhalter?
Not the way we play. And
not saying that he couldn't, because he did. He was netting goals and assisting them all before Nations League. Then after Nations League, the well dried up. Why? Because he was responsible for getting back into the defense a lot more.
Too many easy side passes too. I know that's not always the case when he plays. Certainly, it wasn't the case when he was with the Revs. Certainly not the case now that he's with Dallas. I just don't see it. He does have a better chance than, say, I don't know, Williamson, in the sense that at least Gregg knows who the fuck is. I mean, Gregg knows who Williamson is too, but Leggett honestly knows Gregg's system and tries to fit into it, whereas Williamson is, only had very brief time to play with Gregg, and when he has, he's told the press how difficult it was for him to figure out.
And I guess the bigger question is if we're going to play a player like Leggett in his 4-3-3 as more of an offensive-minded 8, let's just say.
Mm-hmm.
Are there better players that fit the role?
Yes. Aronson.
So, Reyna.
I mean, if you're going to do that, Aronson, Reyna, they're better than Leggett. But, I mean, Leggett is a backup. I don't know. I don't think that relationship was going real smooth with Gregg there at the end, but we'll see. But it's not a ridiculous shot out, or shot in the dark to say Leggett. Yeah, I would not put it past Gregg. Would not, if it happened tomorrow. I read that Gregg is mulling over, calling up and saying, so where the hell is this coming from? Just because of the Pulisic rumor, he probably won't be called up. Yes, he probably won't, but who the fuck knows what's going on in Gregg's head? I don't think Zendejas is going on in his head. I honestly don't, Chris, to be really, out in the open here about this. I just don't think that's happening. Perhaps Weah sits out this camp. I think he might, so we can fully recover. I think that would be smart. And Ariella goes in. Will be interesting to see. Yeah, I know. I'm curious about it too. I left Weah off my list because I was being extra cautious about him. And I just didn't want to bring him back that early. But then, Brett wanted to hang out with the crew. So
that's it. Just call him up, give him the Aaron Long treatment on recovery, and he just, at practices, kicks the ball around, has a good laugh once in a while.
He'll laugh. He likes to laugh. Yeah. So with all that said, there's probably a 50-50 chance GG calls up Zendejas. I think it's more like 10-90, actually. 10% chance he calls up Zendejas. And somebody's going to have to blow a fucking right testicle for that.
However, there's only a 10% chance of that.
Oh, I didn't finish it. So my bad, Chris. Oh, Jesus.
Bring up Colin's list here on the central midfielders. But he's got Williamson, Leggett, and Mihailovic. No Luca De La Torre, looks like. And no Tillman, although Tillman could easily be on a striker. But Mihailovic is an interesting pick. And I know Gregg was interested in bringing him up a number of times.
Again,
effect on players, but it's one of those. I don't know.
It's another player that doesn't fit Gregg's system, Mihailovic.
That's true. I mean, that's a great point in the sense that fits the same role as Leggett, like a younger Leggett in that sense.
He's a CAM, and we don't play a 10. We just don't. And so I just don't see that happening. Those aren't awful picks. I like Mihailovic. I think he's headed for higher places. So
you forgot
De La Torre. Yeah, that might be one too many midfielders, though.
Well, and again, it just depends on if you think Berhalter's calling in 26 or if he's going to bring in like 28 or 30. Again, you might call in extra players just to get a look at them. They may not play and they may not make the game day rosters.
We have already established this, Brett. Anything over 27 players, and Gregg is flummoxed. He cannot do more than 27. So 27 is all he can handle. He said it in the press conference. Well, once you get beyond 27, what do you do with the extra guys? They're all sitting around while 22 guys play each other on the field. I know.
What?
When you're scrimmaging, what do you do? There are like 5 guys sitting around doing nothing. Well, you fucking bring them in. You sub some guys in and out. Come on. It's not that hard. It really isn't. All right. What do we got left? Markaloff, you guys think GGG will consider bringing this kid to the World Cup as the third goalie? I think he'll consider it. I think he'll mention him, but I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think you bring a 20-year-old 20-year-old goalkeeper. Yeah, I don't think you do that. I really don't. It's too young. There are too many things that can happen. Too many things that won't work out or will work out. You don't know. The story as a goalkeeper goes on into your like 36, 37 years old. And a lot of goalkeepers don't even hit their prime until they're like 28, 27, 26 years old. He's got a long ways to go. So I don't think you need to bring him because he's going to have plenty of times. If he lives up to his hype, he's going to have plenty of World Cups to play.
So I think looking at it this way, I think Berhalter is going to go with the if he has to bring in somebody that's not one of the big 3, it's the big 3. Berhalter's big 3, Horvath, Turner, and Steffen. Let's say Steffen gets left off because he's been injured and he's not playing and he's not back, he's on the bench now. If he's going to bring somebody in, I agree with you in the sense that he's probably going to bring Johnson over Slonina just because Johnson has been there all through qualifying, and I don't know. I don't see Slonina getting called in.
Like Greg loves Long and Moore, he loves him some Johnson. So just keep.
You like some more Long Johnson?
The longer one, the better. All right, we got more. Brett Winter, chicken dinner. Since Greg talked about it in an interview, do you think it may be worth bringing Josh Cohen into the camp? I don't know if you're part of the tribe, Brett W., but I think that's probably extreme wishful thinking. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Josh Cohen is even on his radar, even though he gave him some nice words during an interview, especially since it sounds like Steffen may not be getting the starting gig back at Borough. He's not. You're correct. He's not getting that starting gig back. So I still don't think that means that somebody takes Steffen's spot. I think Steffen's going to still probably make this fucking September roster, even though he's proven nothing for 8 months now.
If Steffen's healthy, he's getting called in.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost a guarantee at this point, guys.
Yep, I'd agree. I mean, listen, Josh Cohen's played really remarkably well in Israel, and of course, his team won the championship for the first time in like over a decade or however long it's been. I think it's been longer than that. So he's been doing well, and they're playing they're playing European soccer. So I bet Bill Hamid's still sitting off in the corner somewhere saying that he's better than all the goalies. Yeah, especially since he lost the starting role at DC. It looks like Rooney favors the young kid. So Hamid's going to be really disappointed. Just about as disappointed as when he went to Denmark? Was it Denmark? And didn't get a game. He got 1 game in 2 seasons. Ouch. Damn. What does that say? All right. Jose, as a fan of Club America, this would be cool to see, but honestly, I don't see him sneaking in for either the U.S. men's national team or Mexico. What are we talking about here? Zendejas? I don't think so. It's a little too late. Maybe next time is what I'd say. And Zendejas is going to have to continue to kick ass in Mexico, by the way, to make that happen. And he might even have to move away from Mexico and move to somewhere in Holland, something like that. It's amazing how young he still is. He's only 25. So theoretically, he could make World Cup when he is 29 and when he's 33. But I don't think he's going to make this one because it's taken too long to get around to take a peek at him. So we only got 2 games, guys, and Berhalter wants to play the core team, the core guys, for most of the time for these 2 games. Where do you guys think that 3G slots Tillman positionally? Well, there's only a couple options for him, really. Left out as a winger or as a more attacking-minded midfielder. That's it.
Basically one of the wingers of the McKinney role, more or less.
Yeah. He competes with Morris and Areola as a winger for that final spot in midfield. I think that Gregg rates his ceiling way higher than either of those two guys, Morris or Areola, but I think he does have a fondness for Areola and even Morris that Tillman's going to have to overcome and prove that he's got more goods to bring. So, motherfucker, the rolled on spot is there for the taking. Yes, it is. Ditto for Mihailovic, motherfucking or winger. Motherfucker or winner.
Well, the rolled on spot, definitely, because he's injured and all.
Yeah, I like that position, motherfucker. I don't know. That's disgusting. All right. Hey, Derek, thoughts?
So I sent this to you.
Paul Areola, 17 goals and assists. Chris Pulisic, 14 goals and assists. Guess which player is hated by U.S. men's national team casuals? I'm going to guess Areola. But they shouldn't hate him.
The casuals.
Well, it's not his fault he gets called up. So, I mean, don't hate a player. Hate the game. Hate Berhalter. I don't know. Hate whoever. Just don't hate Paul Areola. It's not his fault. And, comparing the two is like apples and oranges. Pulisic plays in the Premier League. That's like 4 levels above MLS. Maybe 3. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
It's really hard playing in the Premier League. Okay. It's really difficult.
Chris Gary says, trying to get inside Gregg's head.
You got to crack open the penis head in order to get in there.
It's a big long Johnson. Or was it he's got more Long Johnson there?
In order to get anything out of that, you're going to have to stick a straw in the top of the head and suck it out. It's gross. What do they call that catheter? You got to use a catheter to get in there, touch the brain of Gregg and his penis head. All right, Jonathan Rupert. Did you see Miles Robinson arrested over a $5 shot? I didn't see it. I wasn't there. I heard about it.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Greg? Brett, were you hanging out with him?
Yeah, I was on the opposite of the bar.
Oh, you were?
I happened to have been in Atlanta at that time.
So you got to see it. I just got to hear it from you because you saw it firsthand.
No, I don't know. There's a number of people posting that there's that I don't know. So Miles is saying that the bartender was racist towards him. My personal take on this is if they were in fact saying pay the $5 bill and nothing will happen, I would have paid the $5 and still bitched about it if the bartender was racist. I don't know anything about this by any means.
Is this in Atlanta?
Yeah. And apparently people posting it's at a bar that's known for this type of activity. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything about the bar itself or this story except for what's been reported. And all I can say is that if the offer was provided by the police officer and the bartender or bar owner to pay the $5 and go away, I would have paid the $5 and then bitched about it later. It's not worth the hassle of going to jail.
Well, maybe he thought this motherfucker didn't deserve $5 to have my $5. But it's really when you're paying your tab, you're not paying the racist fucking bartender. You're paying the establishment for the drinks or whatever they got. And if this place is such a bad fucking reputation, then I guess why are you going to hang out with a fuck? I would
necessarily has a bad reputation. It's just people are posting like it's known. I guess I don't know.
Then ban it. Don't go to it. Don't give it money if it's that bad. But I don't know. I mean, lots of reputations get sullied online, and it's not always true. So it's hard to say what fucking actually happened. I'd like to think it was just a misunderstanding, but not to say that there isn't some racist motherfucker working in Atlanta as a bartender. It doesn't seem like a real good way to go because bartending is all about having relationships with the people you're serving. So that's just a bad bartender or a racist one at that. So I don't know. We don't have the facts. So it's hard to say. I don't know. I'm not putting it beyond whatever. I don't have any information that lets me know exactly what happened that night or what the bartender said that was racist and how Miles reacted to it.
I don't know. From my standpoint, and I mean, obviously, you gotta kind of take it on a case by case the situation. But if it's a $5 bill that somebody's not willing to pay, I would have just had the police officer get his ID and then ban him from the establishment period.
Yeah, it's not
what I would have
calling
done.
the police.
Yeah, I mean it seems like a insane, harsh. It's $5 for jail.
It's bad on everybody's side here.
Yeah.
Calling the police on a guy for walking away from a $5 tab that maybe you weren't having a very good discussion with, or in Miles' case, not paying a simple $5 bill he could pay. But he might have done that on principle. Again, he might have said, listen,
sure, this
place hires fucking racist pigs and I'm not going to pay them. Well, I would also recommend you just not go there anymore. And if this establishment has that reputation, which I would find shocking in the middle of Atlanta, which is a very African-American affluent. There are large pockets of Atlanta full of very affluent African-Americans and whomever else too. I mean, I'd be shocked if they want that kind of reputation, if they would allow that to continue to go. I would expect that more in other parts of Georgia than Atlanta. But then who am I? I'm just being general here. I mean, of course there could be a racist in the middle of Atlanta serving drinks as a bartender. There could be. Absolutely possible.
I just, again, I just wouldn't have gone the route being a 25-year-old center back making money as a professional player, getting arrested for a $5 bill, even if it was due to some ignorant prick behind the bar.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
I would have paid the $5 and then bitched about it.
I would have thrown the $5 in his fucking face and say good night, bitch. If that's how he was acting, he was being a pig. I'd say you're lucky I don't climb over this fucking bar and kick your ass, but here's your $5, you piece of shit. Fred Baker. Oh God, do we really have to read this?
Yes.
Stefan, Hamid, Fry, Moore, maybe Cannon, Long, Zimmerman, Farrell, Pines, Jones, Jermaine Jones, maybe DeJuan Jones, maybe too. Dest, Acosta, Roldan, Adams, Corona, Richards, wrong position. Williamson, probably not. McKenney, Trapp, Pulisic, Morris, Areola, Mueller, no, incorrect answer. Way, Reyna, Altidore, incorrect answer. Wood, incorrect answer. Ferreira, okay. You got a lot of horns on that one.
CF says Indiana is the Alabama of the Midwest. How dare you?
I'm not from Indiana, but I've lived here long enough, and I've also visited Alabama. We went down there a lot. We held conferences down there. I can't speak for Alabama. It didn't seem like better or even. It seemed worse than Indiana from my experience. Just my experience. Nothing against anybody in Alabama.
This isn't a Disney World lineup. This is a smallpox, AIDS, back, herpes combo.
Spence, oh no.
It's
Him
okay.
again?
It's a fun one.
All right. Can't make the circle jerk tonight, fellas. I met this woman at the bar yesterday, and we're going to fuck while watching the Seahawks game. Hey, more power to you, buddy. I hope you don't, lose concentration. I know I had a hard time keeping a hard on if we were watching sports or TV sports was on while sex was going on because, frankly, Larry Bird just doesn't turn me on very much.
It sounds like he's getting his rocks off watching a bunch of guys in tights tackle each other.
I'm sorry, something about Magic Johnson hitting a skyhook just didn't turn me on sexually. With Roldan out of commission, Morris will bring the Sounders' pride to Europe. Fight and win. Maybe. I'm not counting Morris out yet. Why is it that Spencer doesn't sound very English today? Remember he had the English flag?
He's
very English. He was like pro England. England's gonna kick your ass. I'm English, and now he doesn't seem very English anymore. He's fucking watching the Seattle Seahawks and banging chick at the same time. I'm very confused. Very confused, Spencer.
We got a whole thing going on here. We got where's it at? Adam Wiggins says, "Damn, I'm from Alabama."
Yeah, it doesn't mean everybody from Alabama's a cocksucker.
McCall says, "Adam, Indiana is better than Alabama."
Yeah, I don't want to get into that. Indiana might be better at like certain things than Alabama, but I mean, like Alabama could say, "Well, we're better at college football," and then be like, "Oh yeah, you are." Yeah. Shit, fuck.
Watching the sports must have been her request. So maybe she gets her rocks off.
She's got her head on the edge of the fucking bed, and it's tilted backwards so she can see the TV. You done yet? Oh yes, go Seahawks! All right. Are we done? We're done? Okay, hey. That's all, folks. All right, we are done for the night. Make sure you like, subscribe, share it with Grandma. Really, seriously, we need to start doing something to get people to fucking hit the subscribe button at this point. Now, it's not helping that every video we're doing is
Guys,
live.
can you unsubscribe just so you can subscribe again?
No, don't do that. That does not help at all. But yeah, we're going to have to start making the 20-minute non-live content again, Brett, more often because it's a skill in the algorithm.
Yeah, I'll probably, for those who don't want to spend 2 hours watching us yammer on, I will probably take the actual prediction segment and make it its own segment tomorrow.
Cut out all the, yeah.
So that way, people who want to actually catch that content, not wade through 42 minutes of bullshit. And quite frankly, I guess it's only more like 10 minutes of bullshit. And we actually talked about soccer-related stuff for the next 30
just
minutes.
not that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a good idea, Brett. So let's do that. And then people who don't know us will watch it, and they'll think we're all content-focused.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be great.
Flip the live show.
Post them.
Flip it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right, guys. So we're going to do that.
We did it for a little bit.
We did it for a little bit. Yeah, it didn't work as well as we thought. But you know what? We were still at least getting new subs the whole time. And we still do. But, man, it's slow to a trickle because only our dedicated audience comes and watches. Like the last show, last I checked, was like 1.7 that we did. That's nice. But we only have 2.4 people. So that's like 80% of our audience is already watching us. We need new people to come and see this shit. So we love you guys, though. Maybe you guys scare them away because they realize how familiar you are with our jokes and everything. Like the backstory, you already know it. And they're like, I feel kind of like an outsider here. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but I think the algorithm is fucking not helping.
And guys, I'll stop playing the USSF blooper reel at the end of the show. We had a number of people that thought we were still live at the end of the last show.
Yes, we won't do that.
Watching the comment section, girl, like, guys, you're still live. You're still live. I'm like, oh no.
The background's not even the same behind me. There's no Brickyard Battalion, scarf. All right. Until the next time on the Straight Red Card, thank you for joining us, and we'll be back on Thursday. Well, maybe Wednesday. Look for us on Wednesday after the announcement. Good night.
You're gonna do her. Yeah.
Oh no!
Matt, what the hell was that?
Wasn't me.